If you're looking for a behind-the-scenes insight into music, you've come to the right place. Remember to subscribe to be notified of new content.
Many have said that music has healing properties. Well, in 2020, we have faced a 1 in 100 year event with the COVID-19 pandemic, and music is one element that has helped carry us through. But this pandemic has changed our life in so many ways, especially so for Australian singer-songwriters who were once accustomed to performing their music in a live setting. Join me as I unearth what goes on behind the scenes during these COVID times across the Australian music scene.
This is Behind the Music with LED.
Hi, I'm Alan. I'm the guitarist with Exquisita, based in Melbourne, Victoria.
Hi, I'm Jesse Marshall. I'm the drummer from Exquisita.
Ken, I'm a bass player and one of the singers in Exquisitor.
I guess the song comes first, really. You know, we mess around with lots of different genres and see what happens.
Yeah, so I learnt guitar as a kid, had some really great music teachers in Nick Charles and then Chris Quinlan that got me into it, and sort of from there in high school joined some bands, sort of found out how much fun and creativity you can have just while hanging out with friends. So that really got me hooked, and it's just something that I've been doing since then. And yeah, I've been really lucky the last couple of years to be working with Exquisita. I think we've been making some really interesting music, and it just gives a great outlet to just relax and enjoy doing something creative. Yeah, so when we sort of formed as a band initially, you know, as first couple of catch-ups, we really talked about what our expectations were, and you know, we were looking to travel the world within the first couple of months and be playing 50 to 100,000 person stadium shows with some of the other big names in the music industry. In reality, it hasn't worked out like that, but we sure as hell have a lot of fun what we're doing, and we're going to keep doing it.
I really love performing live. I love the rush and the feeling when you have an audience engage with your music, and you kind of sometimes have those moments when you're performing where you really feel something click. You can really feel that as a band you're gelling, or that someone or a group of people in the audience are really engaging with what you're doing, and that's a rush that I don't think you can replicate. You know, I've grown up performing in theatre productions and doing a lot of drama, but also, you know, playing music, and every time I step up on stage I get those butterflies in my stomach, I get the nerves, but that rush of, you know, when you kind of get into the performance and you're just in that zone, yeah, I don't think there's anything that can beat that, and I really love it.
I guess I'd have to say finally releasing an album on platforms that everyone could find. You know, getting some radio airplay has been fantastic. Feeling proud that we made something we think is pretty decent, you know. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Breaking through as a new band or an indie band without a lot of kind of industry support behind you, or without a lot of connections, can be really challenging. There are a lot of plus sides at the moment to how open these sorts of platforms are. You can list your music on Spotify relatively easily. You can get your music out to people. You don't have those gatekeepers in record labels and others who are able to pick and choose what music reaches people's ears. The challenge now is that there's so much out there. You know, there's more than just the CDs in the record shop. There's more than just one way that people can access music, and there is certainly more music out there than people have time to listen to. So the challenge, I think, is to find ways to connect with an audience that you think will enjoy your music, and there's often not one silver bullet for that. And it's been a challenge for us of trying to reach out to lots of different audiences, and sometimes I think with a band like ours where we have quite a diversity in our sound, it's not always easy to predict who's going to like your music the most, and you can't just kind of pick your audience off a shelf. You have to get out there through radio stations, through all the traditional means. Community radio is a great way, but there are lots of other methods as well through online promotion. Of course, you can do paid promotion on social media, or you can just try and promote organically through your networks. But you've got to try multiple different tactics to get out there, and it's certainly not an easy thing to do. But it is rewarding, and it is open, and it is available if you're willing to put in the effort. There are advantages to being able to connect with your audience online, as we've found at the moment. At in Melbourne we're locked down and we can't leave our houses as of the evening time, so there are limited opportunities to engage with an audience in person. But in normal times, it is certainly nice to run into people at gigs, to meet new fans, people who you didn't know, who either come across your music at a live gig and say, hey, I really enjoyed that, that was awesome, or who come along specifically for your music and just want to let you know that they're enjoying what you're doing. So that's a great feeling. But you can also get that feedback online, and we've certainly found launching our album whilst in lockdown that we've had lots of people get in touch with us and say, hey, I listened to your album and I thought this song was awesome. And I think one of the best stories for me, or one of the best things for me about launching our album recently is that I think I've probably had someone tell me that just about every song on our album is their favorite song, different people. And that to me is a real validation of what we're doing, and it's certainly a great feeling. Every time someone says, hey, I liked your album and this song resonated with me for this reason, that's just like playing live and having that connection. I think if you can have that kind of one-on-one conversation and that feedback and have someone tell you that your music really resonated with them, that's an awesome feeling.
Without community radio, we'd be just stuck in a saccharine, boring, one-dimensional musical landscape, I think. Commercialism of music is pretty rife. I think community radio plays a huge part in providing access to music that you wouldn't normally discover, and also explore genres and different styles of music that you wouldn't normally listen to. You can turn on the radio at any point in the day and you'll get something completely different. It's been great hearing some of our tunes turning up on radio around Australia. We're very open to any interviews. If anybody wants to drop us a line, you can catch us on our Facebook or Instagram or various other social medias.
Yeah, so really hoping that 2021 works out a little bit better than 2020. Obviously a big year 2020 for us as a band, releasing our debut album, The Luck of the Draw, but being in Melbourne, we're stuck in lockdown and not able to get out and promote it. So I think sort of going into next year, big hopes are that we get to do some touring and really sort of showcase the album as well as start working on our next recording.
I think one of the most difficult things at the moment in promoting music and just being an artist in general is being able to push through the many barriers that you encounter. It's certainly hard to, as it has been for a long time, turn music or any kind of art into a profession, to do it and earn a living wage from it. So for a lot of people, like for our band, it's a passion, it's a side project, it's something that you do whilst you've got a day job. And that can bring with it an exhaustion. We've all got families and other jobs and other demands on our time. And trying to find a way to have the energy to push through and give back to the band can be exhausting. And the only way I think that you can do it in a way that leads to good outcomes, that leads to people enjoying what you're doing, enjoying your music, giving you good feedback, and you doing actual good work as a band, is if you feel positive about it in your heart. And if you feel and believe, you feel passionate about it and believe in the music that you're producing, whether it's music, whether it's drama, theatre, acting, sculpture, painting, anything. If you don't feel it inside you, and if it's a chore or if it's not something that you're enjoying or you're finding it frustrating, I think you've got to find ways to either take a step back for a week, a day, a month, whatever it takes for you to refresh and to feel more positive about it, or just to look at it from a different angle. Maybe put down that particular song you're working on, go back to a song that you really loved and maybe play that, or just have a jam with the band and say, hey, let's play some of our favorite, greatest hits, or let's play some covers that we all enjoy, and just try and reignite that spark. Because when you've got that spark of passion, when you've got that chemistry with your bandmates, and when you're all enjoying it and you're there with sort of fun and passion in your hearts, that's when I think you do your best work. And later on, once you've produced something and you're trying to take it out to other people, again, when you've got that real passion and you can listen to it or hold it and take it out to other people and say, hey, I really believe in this is great music, I think you should listen to it, I think that's when you get the best responses.
The words of encouragement that I'd like to share is don't be too hard on yourself, don't beat yourself up, just enjoy the music that you're making and get stuff out there.
I guess the only advice that I have for any upcoming musicians is just to do it while you're having fun. Don't feel like you need to conform and write music that pleases everybody. Just write and play music that you enjoy and keep doing it until you're not having fun anymore.